Thank you very much. Now we're talking on another course, which is script writing. Script writing. Let me start with this. What is script writing? We'll be looking into that. So let me say that script writing is the act and craft of writing out our thoughts and imaginations, such as future film, television productions, or video games, for the purpose of evangelizing, preaching, and also for profit. There's another definition I have that says that a scam play. Script writing is also known as scam play. So it is a scam play is a storytelling with motion, images, and sound in a specific way. Looking at these two definitions, they are all pointing to one thing, which is telling a story. Script writing is also a bedrock of all production, of a film production. So it's the bedrock, is the foundation. So we can't do without script writing. If you want to write a fantastic film production, you can't do without script writing, because script writings give a detail of what the cast and crew, what they will do in a film. It gives them the detail. It gives the makeup artist, immediately a makeup artist sees the script, he or she will know what he will do to the cast. He or she will know the type of makeup he will use for the cast. The same thing is, the director should see the script. He knows how he's going to he knows how he's going to direct the film. If the actors then see the script, they know how they read their lines, and they know the type of character that they will actually do when they are on set. Let's move to the importance of script writing. We have a lot of importance of script writing, but I just want us to understand few things about it. One, it helps to know the beginning and the end of the message or story. Remember, I told us when we are doing something on story development. I told us that one of the tips of story development is know the end of your story before you start writing, and that is the thing that the script has done justice to. That it helps to know the beginning and the end of the message or the story. So it gives definite direction to your story. It guides the cast and the crew to know their duties and where to come in. 4, it helps to schedule the shooting arrangement. It helps the director to know the full concept of the story and the themes they are in. It helps in editing studio to join the shots and their scene. So these are the things that we have a lot of importance of a script. But I just want us to understand these few things, because we can't do without the importance. We can't do without script writing in a film production. Then we have different type of script. We have different type of script. Let me mention some for a few. We have the news script, the commercial script, the stage play scripts, We have the radio drama script. So we have different type of script. But the one we are talking about, the one we are into now, is a script for film production. So now that we've known about story development, the next thing we should know about is how to work on our story development, how to write it out into a script. I want us to understand that immediately you've written your ideas out, immediately you've developed it into a script, then it means that it is not longer your own work alone, but it is the work of everybody that will partake in it. When you have the idea, it is your work. But immediately you've written it into a script, then it is not only your work, it is the work of every one of you. Because a lot of people will partake in that same script, that same document that you've written. A lot of people will partake in it. The actors, the actress, we have the DOPs, a lot of people, the sound editors, a lot of people. We have a lot of people that they will work on that script just to let your ideas, your concept, just to bring it to life. We have what we know as a log line when writing a script. A log line is one sentence that lay what the movie is all about. It's the summary of the whole storyline. Most times it's also known as an elevator speech. This tells us that no matter how our film might be that long, like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, like Nollywood film, like Bollywood feeders, Indian movies, and and some other movies like or seasonal film, you should be able to tell the story in a sentence that people will understand that yes, this is the concept behind this film. And there are some script seasoning that we need to put into consideration. You must let your film have what we know as surprise, which means that when once your audience has finished watching scene 1, they should not be able to dictate what will happen in scene 2. To give it something like surprise, something like suspense. That is one of the things. That is what some ingredient that we usually use in writing a good script. So it must have those two things I've mentioned: surprise, then suspense. Now let's go into the element of script writing. Just as I've said, where we are doing the story development, I was also send a note on script writing to us so that we'll be able to understand it better. We have some elements of script writing, and that's the scene heading. Some will be asking that what is the meaning of scene heading? Scene heading, it should be one line scene heading, it should be one line description of the location and time of date of a scene. It is also known as hook line. So we can't do without this scene heading. For in a film production, this particular scene heading tells whosoever is handling the script of the location, the place, and the time that the movie will be shot. If the film will be shot in an indoor place, it let us know. If it's being shot at outdoor place, sorry, it also let us know. So when professional reads the script and they see that, they will know that yes, we are shooting this film in an indoor, we are shooting this outdoor. For example, scene heading is being written in this form: exterior / writer store / day. So the exterior lets us to understand that they are shooting the film outside. So the writer's store made us to understand we are shooting this particular film in a place where we have writer's store. Then the day made us to understand that we are not shooting it in the night, we are shooting it in the day. So all these ones help us in a lot when preparing for the production day. Because once you see day, it means that we are not going to make use of light, because we have the natural light, which is the sun. So that's that about scene heading. So we have another one. That's introduction action. Introduction action. This is the introductory action details that tells what is happening in each scene and gives us the introductory action to the first character opening the scene. Yes, it comes immediately after the scene heading. So once we've know our scene heading, the next thing that comes to our mind when writing the script is the introduction action. For instance, let me use this example. In the Love Garden, Vivian, 24, sitting and waiting for her boyfriend, Steve, 27. She bowed her head and glued to focus on her phone as carried away, enjoying her social media chat. After a few minutes, she lifts up her head, then sights Steve walking towards her. She kept focus as Steve walked nearer, smiling. Finally, got closer. Vivian immediately stand up angrily and slap Steve. You can imagine that type of introduction. If you are an audience that are watching that type of thing, you will feel somehow that what had happened before Vivian will then slap Steve. Because you find out that when the beginning of the introduction was very, very smooth, and there was nothing that it was not as if they have issue, but something like surprise occur at that place. So this is part of the introductory aspect that we always have immediately. Once we are done with our log line, and it's after that one that we have what we'll know as the dialogue. But before the dialogue, we have what we know as the character's name. The character's name comes after the introduction aspect. The character's name, this comes immediately after the introduction aspect, just as I've said. So that's when immediately we have the introductory action. The next thing that comes is Vivian in capital letter. Then under Vivian, we then have some dialogue that Vivian will see. So Now dialogue. Dialogue. This is the word that the character says in communication with any other existing body in the scene in the scene with another character. Just as the one Vivian slaps Steve. Steve might just ask a question. Then I'm talking about dialogue like that. Wow, you slapped me? And Vivian will like want to reply him that yes, and I will do harder and harder. And we can just look at the next scene, or just at that spot, the next action that will come out is that Steve walks out angrily. So that's about dialogue. So the next thing is the transition language. The transition language are for the editing. They are the editing language. So a scriptwriter too needs to make use of some of the transitional languages, like cut in, cut out, fade in, fade out, and so on, intercut. So they also need to make use of it. This will give an editing. This will give an editing impression that the scriptwriter knows what he's doing, because a scriptwriter will write the script in a way that as if yes, he's actually seeing the film from the beginning to the end. So that's all for now on the script writing. So the next one that we'll be talking about is role interpretation and acting. Well, there are some software that will also help us. There's some software on phone that will also help us in writing a script. We have the Final Draft. We have the Movie Magic Scriptwriter. We have a lot of them that will help us in writing a script. So I pray that as we put that into practice, may God help us in Jesus' name. So the next thing I will be talking about is role interpretation and acting. Thank you.